Okay, hi guys. We're going to look at the layering principle for walking clothing. Um, so, what is the layering principle? How does it work? Right, we start off with the base layer. Okay, so this layer here is a base layer. This is a high wicking t-shirt and sort of lightweight walking trousers. What are you looking for with this? Well, really, look for lightweight, quick drying material. So what I've got here is very lightweight synthetic material. If it gets wet, it'll dry very quickly. When you're generating a lot of sweat, that will move through the system very quickly. Cotton is a big no-no. Cotton gets wet and it stays wet. And so that makes it really quite dangerous, actually, in the outdoors. So we want to keep light and quick drying clothing. You don't have to go out and buy anything particularly, but you can if you want. But probably easier if you've got sports tops, anything you wear to the gym, anything synthetic like that would work really well. So this is made from a sort of lightweight synthetic material. Alternatively, you can get ones that are in merino wool. Merino wool is a more natural alternative. Tends to last longer, though mine's got holes in. These don't smell anything like as much as these do. These tend to stink after a while. These tend not to. So it's entirely up to you, but you start with your base layer, lightweight, quick drying. Walking trousers, similar idea. These are festooned with pockets because they always seem to be, but lightweight, synthetic. They'll dry within half an hour getting wet. So if you're wearing them in the rain, they do dry quickly. Things that are cotton, things like jeans, denim, they take forever to dry. So you really can't wear them in the outdoors at all. So that's your base layer, okay? That's the starting point. Get sweat away from you very quickly. Trousers are windproof. Okay, then you get onto your mid layer. Your mid layer is your insulation layer. So it doesn't matter what you've got. So you can get these sort of lightweight puffy tops like these. These are just sort of a little bit of synthetic insulation. These are very good. Alternatively, and probably the most common choice, is just a lightweight fleece. Fleeces are really popular. They dry very quickly. They weigh very little. This thing weighs about 300 grams. So that's, sorry, let's move the microphone out. This dries very quickly. It's very warm. It's very light. You don't have to pay a lot of money for fleeces. You can get 2 for a tenner from places like Mountain Warehouse. So a couple of fleece layers will give you lots of insulation, keep it nice and warm. So that's a mid layer. Now, you can get quite posh mid layers. This is a lightweight down jacket. This is a micro down. I really wouldn't recommend a down jacket for DFE because these are fantastic if it's cold and it's dry. Down does not like getting wet. If you get this wet, it's going to stay wet, and not only will it stay wet, but it'll lose all of its insulation. It'll be like a dish rag. So we do see people sometimes wearing these. Really not recommended for the British outdoors. It's not the climate they're designed for. They're designed for the Alps, they're designed for the Himalayas, they're designed for colder conditions. So, don't wear down. Right, once you've got your base layer on, you've got your mid layer on for a bit of insulation, then you need your outer layer, your protective shell layer. So, what's a shell? Right, it's a waterproof jacket. Now, there's 2 types of shells. If you go into a shop now, they'll talk about hard shells and soft shells. Right, what you want is a hard shell. A hard shell is a waterproof coat. Now, things you want on your waterproof coat. You're going to want taped seams. What's a taped seam? It's one of them things there. There's actually stitching there, and there's a tape on the inside of that stitching. So that means rain can't get through. Do check that it is waterproof. Okay, we've had someone turn up in the past with a super dry jacket. Turns out super dry doesn't mean it's waterproof, it's just a brand name. So, waterproof coats, on it goes. Make sure it fits over everything else. Make sure it has plenty of insulation. I am doing this on a really warm sunny day. I'm regretting it. Right. So, waterproof coat. Make sure it's got a decent hood. Good hood is always a win. So when the weather's horrible, you can batten down the hatches. Good length sleeves. So this is a hard shell waterproof coat. A soft shell is basically a posh windproof fleece. So this is a soft shell. I use this winter climbing. It's a brilliant coat for Norway ice. It's a rubbish coat for the British outdoors. So this doesn't have tape seams. It's a lot heavier. It won't keep the rain off. It'll survive a little shower. So a soft shell is just a sort of marketing tool for an insulated, warm fleece type garment, or just a good windproof. Right, you don't need one because this is windproof. If it's windy, I'm wearing this. It's going to keep the wind off. What else do you need? To complete your hard shell layer, to complete the outer layer of your system, you need waterproof trousers. So make sure you get a pair of waterproof trousers that fit. Make sure you get a pair of waterproof trousers that have zips up the side, at least to mid-calf, so you can get them on over your footwear easily. And a bit of a pro tip, I nicked this from the Scout Association, it's genuinely genius. Get a plastic bag, put your foot in the plastic bag before you put your trousers on. That does two things. One, it makes passage through the trousers much easier. And two, if your boots are all muddy and wet and horrible, then you get soaking wet. So, one leg on, other leg on. So there we go. I've got my warm kit on. I've got my base layer wicking away all that sweat. I've got my insulating layer for when it's chilly. I've got my warm or my windproof, waterproof outer layer for over the top. What I'm not doing is wearing all of them all the time. I'm walking in the rain, I'm getting warm. Off comes the mid layer. If it's chilly, but I don't need the waterproofing, I might get rid of the outer layer. When you get a waterproof coat, waterproof trousers, aim for stuff that's breathable. What that does is it allows moisture to pass through. It allows the sweat that you generate to start to permeate through the material, and what that will do is it will keep you drier. All of this system is sweat management. It's trying to get sweat away from you, where it's cooling you down outwards to keep you sort of warm and dry as best it can. Right, it will be chilly in the evenings. I guarantee that, even if it's a really hot sunny day, by 8, 9 o'clock, there's a chill in the air, particularly there's very little cloud cover. So what can you do about that? Always, always, always pack a woolly hat. Okay, every expedition I've ever been on, there's a woolly hat. I've never not worn it. It's chilly in the evenings every single time. Okay, you can start wandering around with your hood up, but woolly hat, quick, easy. And hands. If it's cold, and we've had some really cold, wet expeditions, even in sort of warm parts of the year, then your hands are going to get freezing cold as well. So get some warm waterproof gloves. Now, my advice on this is to layer like you do your torso. Base layer, mid layer, waterproof outer layer. So I've got the epitome of fashion here, and I bet I picked up the wrong side either side. Oh, I haven't. Look at that. I've got some fleecy kind of gloves, fingerless gloves that turn into mittens, right? So I wear them most of the time, a little bit of windproofing, nice and warm, give me dexterity when I need them, toasty. But then when the weather's craggy and horrible, my hands are going to get wet, and when they get wet, they're going to stay wet. So over the top, I've got a pair of very thin waterproof mitts. Now, looking at this, you could pay an absolute fortune for all this, but you can get waterproof mitts for 10 quid, and they're well worth it. If you're going to carry on walking and doing stuff in the outdoors, this is really, really useful. That's really warm, and I'll wear that. I'll take that on an expedition in June. I'll wear that in the depths of winter. That's my glove system all year round. The only exceptions if I'm winter climbing, where I might go gloves rather than mitts, just because it's easier for kit. But easy defence in depth. So that's layering, right? Very, very simple. Base layer, synthetic, quick drying, windproof trousers, not jeans, and not cotton. Over the top of that, you've then got your insulation layer of whatever type you've got. So fleeces are the gold standard, right? They're just quick, they're easy, they're cheap. But there's various other synthetics that are taking over now a little bit. I'm taking that off, I'm too warm. So that's fine. If you want to go with that route, please, please, please avoid down. Right? If you're wearing down on an expedition and you haven't got any other warm kit and the weather's looking bad, we won't let you come. We just can't risk it. It's too dangerous. And I know everyone wears them. You see all the dog walkers wearing their Rab micro downs. They're brilliant. I love micro downs. I own a micro down, but I wouldn't take one on an expedition if I thought it was going to rain. Over the top, then your waterproof outer layer, hard shell, waterproof coat, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. That's your layering system. Really, really quick and easy. Okay, guys, fantastic.